Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you the Baofeng BF-T1 Mini 70 centimeter ham transceiver. Alright everybody, welcome back. Today I want to show you this Baofeng BF-T1 Mini transceiver. Okay? It is a neat little 440 radio, or 70 centimeter. Very, very small, very compact. And I would call it almost, my terminology would be a niche radio. It's a little niche, you know. It's not an all-around radio, but it has its uses, okay? And I have tested it, and it actually hits our local repeaters with that little tiny stubby antenna. Anyway, I'm going to get into the features of it real quick. Right off the bat, just so you know, it does have an FM receiver in it. So this kind of makes it handy as a little portable FM radio. It doesn't have AM, and also as your little portable ham radio. It does have a LED flashlight built in. This is the on button up top here. This drove me nuts for a while. I couldn't find the on button. That's the on button on top. There's your voltage, and it will say welcome. There's your FM. Okay, I want to get that off there so don't give me a channel strike for copyright. This is your flashlight here. Not the brightest flashlight in the world, but it does work, and it would come in handy. And it has a maximum of 20 memory channels. It's got 50 CTCS tones and 104 DCS codes. Non-standard tones are available through their programming software. It can use Chirp, or it could use Baofeng's proprietary software. With the Baofeng software, you get one other feature. We'll get into that later. But Chirp will work as well. It weighs 4.2 ounces. It's got a lithium-ion battery inside. We're going to cut right here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. If you've ever taken apart a cordless phone, you'll know what I'm talking about, so hang on. All right, popped it open for you. And this is what the battery pack looks like. Okay, it's real simple. It's got the same plugs. You can probably, and I'm going to check, you can probably find these at Walmart for replacement for your cordless phones. So I'm going to give it a check and see if I can find an extra one and see if maybe I can grab an extra battery for this radio. Anyway, and to the review. The magic of video editing, it's back together again. Anyway, I just wanted to show you the battery. You do have some basic controls on the front. Again, as I said, you have a menu which will control your squelch, your volume, all that stuff. Actually, your volume's controlled down here. That's your monitor button. If you hold that in long enough, it will monitor, and you can hear it without the squelch on. This is your FM radio here, and that's the light control. And this is up or down through your memory channels. So let me turn it on again. So you can go up and down. Matter of fact, there it is, receiving a pretty far away repeater. This is our Echo Link linked repeater.
Okay, I've got some stories to tell you. My ex-file is...
That's about 45 miles away from us, that repeater. Anyway, so that's how you work your way through the frequencies, and as I said, it has 20 memories in it. I'm going to turn it off now so it doesn't interrupt us. The battery indicator comes on. The voltage indicator comes on when you turn it on, but there is a little battery indicator. On the corner up there, I don't know if you can see it on the video, there is only one LED backlight on this, okay? So it only has one LED backlight on one side. So it works when it's dark, but it's not the brightest in the world. Okay, I showed you the volume control. One thing I will mention about the volume on these radios, they're loud even when it's turned all the way down. The sound is actually pretty good and clear, as you could hear in that little transmission there. This is your push-to-talk button. That's your monitor button. This is your FM. Let's see, I showed you the FM already. So now I want to tell you a little bit about what I use this radio for. Now, if you're a new ham, I would not suggest going out and picking up this radio. You're going to be frustrated, you're going to be limited to one band, and it's not for you. If you're an experienced ham that does cross-banding and maybe always wants to have a, you have a busy 440 repeater in your area and you always want to have a way to talk on it, that's for you. That's why I would say this was a little niche. That's what it fills. It fills that little niche that, you just got to have, Now, when I'm talking about cross-banding, I'm talking about using the vehicle in your, the radio in your vehicle to cross-band repeat. You go up onto a 440 frequency and you come out onto a 2-meter frequency. If you're working simplex for a large event, let's say, okay, or some kind of disaster communication, and net control is pretty far away, and your handheld 5-watt radio isn't going to make it, you use your car radio, and you set your car radio up to crossband. So you talk here on this, and with your 1 watt, you're transmitting to your car, and your car is retransmitting on 2 meters with 50 watts. That's the main reason I bought this. Also, too, we have a couple local repeaters here, 440 repeaters, that are fairly busy. Somebody's always monitoring them. And sticking this in your pocket and being able to carry that around, pretty darn cool. Okay, I'm going to show you what it comes with real quick. You get an instruction manual. It's actually a decent instruction manual. And again, programming cable. This particular deal comes with a programming cable. I'm going to put the link down below to it. A charging cable. And this will charge. It's got the mini USB down there, so you charge it in the same way you program it. And a plug for the charger. A lanyard, which I'll probably never use. And these are the little earbuds. Now, honestly, I haven't even taken these out. I know they have I know it has a transmit and receive. We're actually going to test this right now. Now, if you think this will use a standard dual pin thing, it kind of looks like it will, it won't. Okay? This is standard Baofeng plug, right? Well, that's all fine and great, but you're not going to have a hole for the other side. So you kind of have to use this. Let's see if that works. Okay? I'm getting myself all tangled up here. See if it transmits. Yep, it transmits. And there's your little earpiece. So it's kind of cool. Gives you a whole bunch of little cool things with it. The box is fairly small. And I'm going to give you a size comparison on this in a second. This is my Yaesu VX7R. Okay? This is a small radio. You can see how much smaller that is. Let's move it on its side. I mean, this is a tiny little thing. This is a standard Baofeng UV5R. Okay? Now, I do have the extended battery on here, so let's say that's as big as the radio is. Still, way, way smaller. So what I'd like to do next is to give it a little test and let you hear what the sound quality is like. I'm going to transmit to this from a handheld, and then I'm going to transmit from this to the handheld, so you can kind of tell the audio quality you're going to expect. And it isn't all that bad. It's actually pretty darn good. So give me a second to set that up. All right, I've got my VX7 down here. And I'm going to run all the way to the back of my property. So you're going to be watching this, but I'll edit that out. And I want you to hear what it sounds like from about, I don't know, 500 yards away. And I'll be right back.
All right, audio test. W6UTC. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 1.
All right, now I'm going to go back again. I'm going to be transmitting with my Yaesu. And you're going to hear what that radio sounds like. So, give me a second, and we'll see what it sounds like.
All right, audio test. W6UTC. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 1.
All right, so you got to hear what it sounds like. Not too bad. The audio on this is actually really nice for such a tiny speaker. But again, as I said, you know, this is your volume control. You're going to push this here, and that's on the lowest volume it could be. See how the bars are going up and down? So it's still pretty loud, but it's not that bad, and you can still hear it. And most of the times you're going to be using this outdoors anyway, and you're going to want a little bit of volume. Not a big deal. If you want to change, this is your menu. This is your squelch. You push again. I have it on 2.
3, 2.
You can move it around. Push again to confirm. And that's it. It's done. And there you go. Anyway, one of the things I did want to tell you about it, and remember we were talking about Chirp and the 9100 software? This is what you can do with Baofeng's software. This will receive on 2 meters.
3.
It will also transmit on 2 meters too. So let me get it on 2 meter frequency without all that noise, and so there you go. That's on our local repeater frequency. I'm not going to transmit on it. I have it just in simplex on there. I don't have the offset and the PL tone put in because, again, the antenna here is a compromise for 440. I definitely wouldn't want to transmit on 2 meters and really ruin the radio. That's again why I said maybe one day I'm going to chop this off and do some kind of BNC connector and, you know, maybe do a little experiment and see if I can hook up a decent dual band antenna on it, because that's kind of cool to have a dual band radio in your pocket. But again, I'm going to warn you, don't transmit on 2 meters. You will probably ruin the radio, okay? Because the antenna is not cut for it. It is, if you've ever seen people take these apart, it's a tiny little copper spiral. It's about that tall, mushed down. Some guys have taken these radios apart and stretched it out to the full length of this. Still won't cover 2 meters. So it is kind of neat to be able to monitor your local repeaters. I definitely wouldn't use it to transmit. And that is only possible with Baofeng software. If you use Chirp, it will give you an error when you try to put a 2 meter frequency in here and send it over. Anyway, that's about it. That's the radio, as you can see. Very, very small little radio. Very handy to have, you know, if 440 is active in your area and you've been thinking about getting a radio you can always carry with you and always monitor. This is actually a really good deal. They are about 20 bucks. You might be able to even get them cheaper. I'm going to link to the radio I bought with all the stuff and all the programming cables and all that. And that's going to be in my Amazon store down below. You can check it out. And remember, too, like I said, if you're in Newham, this is not the radio you want. This is a compromise. Okay? Great for crossbanding to your car. Great for a very strong repeater in your area. But if you buy this as a Newham and expect to hit a 440 machine 120 miles away, good luck, you know? It's definitely a compromise. However, it does work nicely on our local repeaters here. So I'll always have something in my everyday carry bag that I'll be able to talk with, even if I'm not carrying around another HT. So anyway, that's the Baofeng BF-T1 Mini Radio. I used it a little bit this weekend at the Fall Festival Parade just to test it out. It was interesting. I was showing somebody the radio and I keyed up our local repeater thinking this will never hit our local repeater because it's up on Mount Potosi. And it did. So, pretty shocking. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget, this is going to be in our Amazon store down below. But don't forget to check out the Amazon store for everything else. There's a ton of stuff in there, survival gear and everything. And even if you're not interested in what's in our store, you can click the link, shop as you normally do, and it gives the channel a couple bucks here and there for cool gear reviews like that. And don't forget to check out our Thrive Life link. We have a lot of freeze-dried food in there, a lot of stuff to try out. Their freeze-dried food is definitely one of the better quality stuff that I've tried. And I have a freeze-dried food review coming up. I'm going to be doing some powdered eggs. So if you like the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget, click thumbs up, and stay safe and stay prepared.